Hey guys, and welcome back to the channel. And in today's video, I'm going to address a very common question that I get here on the channel, and that is, should I buy the Native Slayer LTE or should I buy the Native Slayer Max 12.5? Now, if you don't know, I've had both of these kayaks, so I have a pretty unique perspective because I've actually owned both of those kayaks, but I kind of just wanted to break it down in layman's terms on who I think should buy either kayak. So I'm going to give 3 points for either kayak on which I think you should buy. So let's get right to it. So if you're thinking about getting this kayak, the number one reason why I think you would choose the LTE over the Max 12.5 is if you plan on car topping this kayak. This kayak, when you strip off everything, it is easily able to be car topped and easy for somebody to be able to do. If that's something that you need to do, then I would definitely lean towards getting the LTE because it's lighter and it's definitely made a lot more so for kind of a throw and go setup. So let's get to reason number 2 why I think you might want to get the Slayer LTE over the Max 12.5, and that is, if you fish smaller water, you can get away with having this kayak. You know, being a lot smaller platform, and if you're fishing small creeks, small rivers, ponds, very small lakes, you can get away with this kayak because I will tell you that this kayak does not handle big water very well. You're definitely going to get wet and have some water coming over the bow, as I recently showed in a video where I was out on this kayak. It's probably not going to handle the big water as well. So if fishing smaller waters, your cup of tea, this might be the one for you. And finally, the number 3 reason why I think that you might want to get this kayak over the 12.5 is if you plan on keeping it pretty bare bones. This isn't going to have the weight capacity of that bigger kayak. So if you're just planning on taking minimal gear, then this is probably going to be the kayak for you. I have a little crate set up here. I just kind of throw the little bit that I need in there. I usually take 2 or 3 rods with me. I do have the NK180 Pro motor on it. All this stuff is linked down below so you guys can check it out. But it makes this setup a lot lighter, a lot more nimble and quick. It's not going to be like the big tournament rigs you see set up with the double graphs and all that stuff. That's not the goal of or what this kayak is meant for. All right, so following that up, that's going to lead me right into reason number 1 why you might want to get the Native Slayer Max 12.5, and that is, if you look at the stats on this kayak and everything, this kayak is set up to have all the bells and whistles. Back whenever I had mine, I had a really big graph on it. I took all the tackle and everything that I could have ever wanted out on it, and it made for a great tournament setup. So if you're planning on fishing like big lake level fishing tournaments, then you're probably going to want to pick the Native Slayer 12.5 just because you can take the kitchen sink and everything and have the dual graphs and all that set up on that kayak. And then reason number 2 why you might want to pick the Native Slayer 12.5 over the LTE is if you plan on fishing a lot bigger water. So if you're planning on fishing lakes and bigger rivers and stuff, the 12.5 is going to be a lot better at handling the big water, the waves, and that kind of stuff. So if that kind of fishing is your cup of tea, then that might be the one for you. All right, and the final reason why you might want to choose the Native Slayer 12.5 over the LTE is if you have a really good way to transport that kayak. If you have a kayak trailer, you have a pickup truck with a bed extender, really some way to make getting on the water easy and feasible with that big heavy kayak, that might lean you to getting the bigger, heavier kayak because you actually have a way to do it. If you're planning on car topping this thing, like I have the option to car top this kayak on top of my SUV if I need to, but I'll be honest guys, over the long haul, it gets really annoying trying to do that. That's why I do have the trailer set up even for my LTE. You know, I personally have the bass boat that I can take out on the lakes. Went out this weekend with my wife, went fishing, caught a bunch of fish and had a great time. But this is more for going out on the streams and stuff. I've got my Coosas back there, so I'm able to, you know, go out with friends on the creek and do all that kind of stuff. But getting out on the water and making it easy is the main thing that I think keeps people from kayak fishing, because getting all the stuff in the kayak and on the water can be a big bear. If y'all have any questions, please let me know in the comments below, and I'll do my best to answer them, because I have owned both kayaks for an extended period of time. But as always, guys, I appreciate you guys watching. Don't forget to get outside, do something awesome, and take somebody with you if you get a chance. See you in the next one. Explain them, and man, this flies all up in my grill. All up in my grill. God. I don't know what's going on. It's hotter than the devil's crotch out here, though. For real. Whew. But